To tie our simple midge, we need brass beads or copper beads. We're going to need some Flashabou. I typically like to use just standard Flashabou. This is extra limp. As well as some hardener. I like Silly Hansen. And ultra thread in anything I believe thinner than 70. So we have our bead on our size 16 hook here. You can go size 16 or 18. 20 works well. And we're going to work our thread back along until, well, for the majority of the bend of the hook. All of our materials today are provided specifically from MaxCatchFishing. Check the link in the description and use the coupon code Colton10 for 15% off. So we're going to work our thread back. As you can tell, I'm not being overly cautious because typically we're going to use some kind of UV or hardener to smooth out the body. Here we're going to tie in our Flashabou. And what I do is a loose wrap, one more, and I draw it a little tighter, and that way we don't have to worry about snipping off excess early. And this is the point where we're going to actually start to develop building our body. We're going to do a nice taper, working to develop the shoulders right behind the bead. And if you need to, if you want to develop or build a body a little faster, a clockwise spin to the bobbin will build material faster, thread faster. So now, we have a somewhat smooth body. We're going to take our Flashabou and we're going to create spiraling wraps forward. Now, the more wraps you have, the more green, typically green or vibrant color comes through from the Flashabou. The smaller the wraps, obviously the less. But as you can see, I'm trying to demonstrate that we want it to be a little even. Now, this is a rotary vise by MaxCatch. Wonderful vise, but I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way for those of you who do not have a rotary vise. I like to wrap once, put my finger down on the wrapping itself, and that kind of maintains its location. It's a little harder this way, but I think it definitely makes it possible, especially on larger chironomid patterns or larger nymphs with ribbing. As you can see, we got a little tangle up there. That's why I like to use my rotary, but that's okay. The rotary vise is actually a great bargain. It's right about $100 to $120, depending, but with the coupon code it's cheaper. This pattern does wonderfully in imitating both, small stoneflies or caddis as well. If you make more wraps, the green comes through, and it kind of resembles almost like it's not really super imitative, but caddis pattern sometimes. So now we've captured our Flashabou. We're going to snip it with our MaxCatch scissors. It's hard to see because I'm actually using my camera as my view because I had to get extra close to the macro setting. We're going to prep our whip finish tool. We're going to give it 1 or 2, maybe 3 solid wraps. You don't want to make too much bulk. And the thicker the thread, the beefier the shoulders are going to be here. So if you want that wrap to go all the way to the front, try to use a thinner thread like an 8/0, but it doesn't really matter in my application typically, especially in fast water. Alright, snug it down. You don't need to do a double wrap or a double whip finish here because, or half hitch, because we're going to be applying lots of resin or hardener. This is the moment where, if you're like me, you're going to have to actually look and clean up everything, all the loose ends. We're going to add plenty of hardener and let it cure. It will soak it a lot, but that is your basic midge.